Hi. Hi, Neeraj, Charvik,
Hi,
Ishwar.
ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Morning, ma'am. Good
Very
afternoon,
good
ma'am.
afternoon, Mokshit. What is the Charvik? It is a new hairstyle or
Hi,
what?
ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, Neeraj. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Hi, ma'am. I'm also fine, ma'am.
Ishwar Katasani, please turn on your video. Mokshit and Rafi, please turn on your videos. Neeraj.
Let's go. Class, Amma.
It is a class, ma. Someone are telling class, amma. Your mama might be scolding you. Why are you taking the phone?
Why?
When you're replying smoothly, it is a class, ma. Yes or no? My Charvik is roaming all around the house, roaming, and listening. Neeraj, Puneet, Mokshit, Ishwar, all of you, please turn your videos
Oh,
on.
ma'am.
Turn your videos on, children. Pujit, Puneet. Shall we begin the class, students? Okay. In the previous class, children, we learned about the plants of coastal regions. Till this topic, these are all under the subheadings of a terrestrial plant. Yes or no? These are all under the subheading of a terrestrial plants, like plants in plains, plants in mountains, and the plants in deserts, swamps, and plants in coastal areas. We just completed about the terrestrial plants, and now today we are entering into a new topic, aquatic plants. Today our topic is only about aquatic plants, children. Why many of you students are not turning your videos on? Hi Puneet. Puneet is new to class. He's having an assistant of Hitendra. Beyond doing his homework, he is helping all others. Hi Yatesh. Okay, what is aquatic? In many of the classes, we discussed about the meaning of aquatic. Can anyone tell me, by even having a look at the picture also, you can tell me what is the meaning of aquatic, children? Aquatic. Just convey me the meaning through chat option. Yes, aquatic is nothing but water, which is everything related for water. Yes, Yatish is good. What about Chavik, Neeraj? Harshini good. It's water. Ritesh good. Yes, aquatic is the word which is related to a water. Today we're going to learn about a few plants that which are related to water. By seeing the entire page, you can see here they have given three types of water, three types of plants which are related to water. The first one is floating plants. Second one is fixed plants. Third one is underwater plants. By the subheadings only, you can know what are the plants about. Floating plants are nothing but plants which float on water. If we throw a ball on a water, what it will do? How it will be? It just floats, right? It won't get sink into the water, or it won't form any root into the water. It just floats on the water like a ball, a balloon, a tube filled with air. These all are float in the water. About a fixed plant is nothing but they won't flow on water. They'll be fixing in some position. They will be on water but in a fixed position. They won't float. They won't move from one place to another place. They'll be fixing in the water. And underwater plants are the plants which grow inside the water. They won't float. They will be inside, completely under the ocean, under the sea, or inside the river. We can't see if until we goes deep into the water. Hi Sudiksha, you're a bit late to class. Okay, no worries. Okay, let's see about the first segment now. Floating plants. These plants are spongy and filled with air. This makes the plant very light and help them float on water. Why they float on water, children? Actually, as you know, any object which is heavier or which is little bit possessing a weight, it might be a stone or it might be a box, it might be a book, whatever it might be, the object possesses weight will be sink into the water. Yes or no? When you drop something into the water, it will definitely sink into the water. Munigipotundi. Yes or no? But some objects will be floating on water. Why they will float, children? For suppose you know that a ball will float. A ball will float on the water. Even though ball has some weight, some 50 grams or 100 grams, the ball has weight. But why it will float? Because the ball will be filled with air. The ball will be filled with air. Yes or no? If the ball doesn't filled with air, what will happen? It will definitely sink. A raw ball without filling an air, or a balloon without filling air, if you just drop on the water, it will definitely sink. It will definitely go to the bottom. Yes, boat also floats on water because you can observe the shape of a boat. It is just like a bowl. It won't have a flat surface. It is bowl. It is nothing but it has a balancing capability, so that, and the boat is also made with a type of wood that which has a hollow space. Hollow space. Yatesh, I'll explain you. Please listen to the topic once, then let's go to the examples, okay? The boat, if you observe a boat, children, that is also made with wood or any type of material with a hollow space. I told the meaning of a hollow, did I? Which is nothing but a pipe. If you observe a pipe, children, it doesn't filled with anything. Air will be flowing behind. It doesn't fill with any mud, water, something else. It is just a hollow. For suppose, for an example, I'm just telling you, children, take a water bottle and you should not fill with any water or any substance, and just keep a lid, close its top with a cap. So what is there inside the water bottle? It is air. It is just filled with air. So the bottle is hollow. Hollow means it doesn't contain anything except air. Okay, that is the meaning of hollow. H-A-L-L-O-W, halo children. It doesn't contain anything except air. That's why the boats also will float on the water. That is the principle here, how the objects will flow on the water. Here, similarly, these plants and leaves are very spongy, just like our sponges. We use for the cleaning purposes, no? Just like our sponges, they have sachets filled with air. They are filled with air, that's why very lighter and they will float on water. They will float on water, children. Here they have given examples of a floating plants. They doesn't possess any deeper roots, children. If you try to pluck them out also, they'll easily come because their roots won't be dig inside the deeper. Anta lotuga undavu. If you try to pull them, they'll easily come outside because they'll just float on the water. Here there are some examples, children. Water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is one of the example, and water lettuce. Water lettuce. It is also known as pistia and duckweed. Duckweed you may mostly see on rivers and wastewater ponds. These are very rare plants, children. You may not observe them, but duckweed is a plant. It is usually you can see on stagnant waters, rivers, wastewater ponds. You can observe this duckweed. These are just floating plants. They won't have a deeper roots. Okay. Next, coming to the fixed plants. These plants have roots that fix the plant in the mud at the bottom of the pond. Their stems are hollow and have 8 spaces. See, children, here they have given the word hollow. H-O-L-L-O-W, hollow. Hollow means, if you observe the, what can I say? How many of you saw the lotus? I mean, not seeing it from far away, plucking them and having them in your hands. మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా చూసారా రియల్గా పట్టుకొని ఒక లోటస్ని? If you observe a lotus, children, the stem, see, a lotus having the stem like this, which is somewhat thick, కొంచెం మందంగా లావుగా ఉంటుంది stem. Because if you cut the stem, you can see it will be having a pipe-like structure. A middle entirely it will be filled with air only, just pipe. మన pipe ఎలా కనిపిస్తుందో అట్లా కనిపిస్తుంది దాని stem. Entire the middle portion will be filled with air only. That's why it is called as halo. The meaning of halo. Just now I explained with the help of a water bottle, no? Like that, it is the meaning of halo. And the roots. Roots will be there for these plants. That's why they are called fixed plants. If the roots are there, a plant can't move here and there, no? It will just stuck up on that place, and due to the help of these hollow stems which are filled with air, they will just come to the top of the water. They will just float, but these are fixed plants. They can't float, they are fixed plants, children. Those have a hollow stems. These hollow stems helps the flowers and leaves to float on the water. Even though these leaves, children, they won't have any air sacs or spongy. But why they are floating on water? Because of the hollow stems. That hollow stems, air-filled stems will be very lighter and pushing the flowers and leaves to float on water. The broad and flat leaves spread over the surface of a water to trap maximum sunlight. See, children, if you observe, this is a little bit light green in color. Yes or no? Duckweed is a little bit light green in color. When coming to the lotus, you can see the leaf is really very dark green. Yes or no? In the previous segments, we came to learn that the leaf will be preparing food with the help of sunlight, water, air, and chlorophyll. Yes or no? Due to the chlorophyll only, it is very green in color. As it is a water plant, it won't get much sunlight because they all live in water, no? They won't receive the direct sunlight. So what they'll do to receive? They will spread their leaves as bigger they can. If you observe a leaf of a lotus, children, it is very big. In the cartoons also, you love cartoons, no? In the cartoons also you can observe frogs will be sitting on the leaves of lotus. Yes or no? In many cartoons you will observe the frog will be jumping in the pond on the leaves of lotus flowers. So by that you can observe how bigger the lotus flower leaves are. Those are very bigger in size because they can absorb a more amount of sunlight. To absorb more amount of sunlight. The leaves have stomata on its upper side. The leaves has a waxy coating to repel water. See children, a very interesting point here is, for in the many leaves, I asked you to pluck a leaf and see in its both sides in the previous classes, yes or no, to observe the part of stomata. Have you all remembered? If you take a leaf and see on its both sides, children, one side is dark green in color and the other side is light green in color. For any leaf you may take, you may go for a curry leaf as well. If you ask a curry leaf from your mummy, she'll give. If you observe, one side is dark green in color and the other side is light green in color. And the dark green color is very smooth if you touch. But when you turn the leaf and see the light green in color, it is little bit rough. I mean little bit harder. So by that you can say the stomata are present in the back side of the leaf. But coming to a lot, that stomata helps in breathing, exchanging of gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, and even to take sunlight also. In the similar way, here for the lotus or a lily, what happens means the lower side will be turning towards the water. It will be floating now. It will be turning towards the water. If the pores or stomata is under the leaf, how can it breathe? If there is only water, there is no air on the downside and no sunlight also. That's why for only lotus and lilies, a watering plants, they will have the stomata on the dark green side only. On the upper side only, they'll have the stomata to breathe, to intake carbon dioxide and exhale the oxygen. And children, they will be having a waxy coating to repel water. On the top of the leaf of lotus, you can observe if there is any water, it won't allow to take the water in. It have a waxy coating. You can clearly see the drop of water on a leaf of a lotus. You can't see this in other plants, children, unless they have a waxy coating. You can see the clearly a drop of a water only on the leaves of lotus and lilies because these leaves are coated with a waxy coating to repel the water. Still any doubts in these two topics, children? I'll be going into the third topic. If you have any doubts in these two topics, please let me know quick. Okay, no doubts. Moving to the third topic, third subtopic under aquatic plants. Underwater plants. For this purpose, I definitely use a television for you, because in Animal Planet's discoveries and even cartoons, you may watching these underwater plants, because you won't go underground and see, no? You won't go for underwater and you can't see them. You definitely need some media to see this. They are completely submerged in water. Submerge is nothing but munigipotam. Mottam entire plant will be inside the water only. For these plants, if you observe, the stem and roots will be inside the water and leaves and flowers will be outside the water. Yes or no? For lotus and lily, the stem and roots will be inside the water and flowers and leaves will be outside the water. But for these underwater plants, entire plant, stem, roots, leaves, flowers, entire plant will be inside the water only. The leaves and stems are thin and flexible. These allow them to move with water currents. They have a narrow, thin leaves with no stomata. They breathe through the body surface. See children, they doesn't have any stomata. Because what is the use of stomata? It is used to breathe and intake of sunlight. Yes or no? Under the water, there is no air to breathe and no sunlight also. That's why for underwater plants, there will be no stomata at all. There will be no stomata. Stomata is absent on the leaves. And if you observe these plants, children, you can see those are very thin. Here it has a thick stem. Here also, if you observe, it has a thick stem. The leaves are very wider, like very big leaves we can see, because they have to float on water. They are very big leaves. But coming to the underwater plants, children, if you see carefully, the leaves are very thin, just like threads. The leaves are very thin, the stem is very thin, because the currents, here the word meaning current is not but power, children. Please don't mistake it. It is not a power. The currents are nothing but waves. If we observe for the seashore, there will be waves, no? Like that, underwater will also having some waves, smooth waves, because the fishes and sharks, whales, octopus, all everything will be moving inside, no? Due to that movement, the water will have small waves. With the tails, they'll move the water, no? Those movement of the water under the sea is called current. What I have to say, in most your cartoon movies, the mermaid, the Little Mermaid, many of you might be watching that, no? The Little Mermaid movie. In that movies, you'll be having, with the help of the tail, the mermaid will move. While they'll move, children, there is a movement in the water that is called as current here. With that movement, these plants will also move. These plants will also move, children. Till any doubts, or let me show you, would you like to see any picture related to underwater plants? Okay, let me show you. Please wait for a couple of minutes. I'll just show you the underwater plant. Can you see my screen, children? See, these are all underwater plants. Those are very colorful, not only green, they are pink, blue. If you see, these are very light. Yes or no, just like grass. If you see, they just move like this. They are just like grass. They don't have any stomata. This is the movement, children. Here you can see the current. When the man is traveling, children, when the man is traveling, you can observe the movement, and here the entire grass is moving towards one direction. This is called as current, through which they just move. They just move, children. The underwater plants will be just like this, very thin, very thin. Okay, see the movement. Due to the current, they are moving in only one direction. Hope you understood, children. Now, let's move to the hard words. Let's see the hard words in today's topic, children. Please make a note of them. Hope you doesn't have any doubts. If you have any, please let me know. I'll clarify the doubts. If you have any kinds of doubts regarding today's topic, the aquatic plants, please let me know, children. Be ready with your pencil to get noted down the hard words, children. The hard words is from the topic aquatic plants. Aquatic plants. Aquatic. Aquatic. Floating. Floating. Fixed. Fixed. Underwater. Underwater. Now coming to floating plants. Now coming to floating plants, children. Spongy. Spongy. Float. Float. You only remember any one example, children. These are really hard to learn. I'm just giving an advice to learn about duckweed. It is easy to you. Duckweed. And next coming to fixed plants. Fixed plants, children. Mud. Pond. Bottom. Stems. Hollow. Hollow. Spaces. Spaces. Broad. Broad. Flat. Spread. Spread. Surface. Surface. trap, maximum, maximum, stomata, stomata, waxy, coating, coating, repel, repel అంటే తిప్పి కొట్టడం, it won't allows the water to intake అన్నమాట. Next, underwater plants. Underwater plants. Completely, completely, submerged, submerged అంటే మునిగిపోవటం. That's why we call it as submarine, which is entirely lying inside the water. Flexible. Flexible means easily flexible. If rubber is easily flexible, మీరు ఎంత వంచినా కూడా ఇది ఇరగదు. It is a rubber band. But coming to a wooden pencil or it might be any thread, it will break out. It is not flexible. The rubber bands are flexible. Currents. Narrow. Breathe. Stew. Hydrilla. Hydrilla. Still any doubts, children? Okay, children, thank you. See you in the next class. Bye-bye.